Alright, we're back. Let's set a marker here. Okay, welcome to the amazing Any Percent guide of Hawk the Shock. So, without further ado, we're going to get right into it. We're going to need this save here, which is provided by the speedrunner Dante and the Starfield speedrunning Discord in the game saves area. Something about an entangled save. What this save does is it provides a consistent RNG experience for one of the final artifacts. So all I have to do is load it up and then quit the game. And you're going to need to do that for every reset you do, so there's that. And then we start a brand new game. And as of right now, we sit for 2 minutes while this elevator does its elevatoring things. I highly suspect that in the coming months that it's going to be changed, and that we're going to start at the bottom of the elevator. But alas, this is in September of 2023. We're stuck in old times where we have to ride elevators for 2 minutes. Man, Coke really tastes really good when you're riding an elevator for 2 minutes. Lynn wants a can.
Oxygen's good. Just do what you did last time, and you're fine. Follow my one simple rule. Hella, what's my one simple rule?
Listen to Lynn. Boss lady knows best.
Exactly. Listen to me. Mining's just like any other job. Go steady, go safe, go home with a pocket full of credits at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally. It's just like,
Anyone have any questions in chat?
Lasers, and accidental dismemberment.
Very helpful. Thank you.
You're gonna be fine. Your first outing was solid. And, let's be honest, it ain't exactly astrophysics.
That's why I keep him around. Good pep talks.
Yeah, and the fact that I can pinpoint
How old are you?
From 300 meters.
I'm 24.
Not untrue. A shame we won't find any down here. But the metal deposits alone should pay for our own.
I almost said 23.
Hell, after this,
It's hard to believe that my birthday was just 10 days ago.
One end of the settled systems to the next.
Hey, more
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, you need to be running at a locked 60 FPS to do the glitches in the route. That is correct.
He's just a big baby. There are worse.
I'm gonna mention it again at every single point where the 60 FPS glitches are needed, but yeah. Why not 55 FPS? Because memes. That's why. But yeah, I know that getting a locked 60 FPS could be trouble for some people, so as Todd Howard says, you may have to upgrade your PC, you know?
But not you. Check on this.
Even my RTX 4090 and 7950X can't hold a steady 60 on this game, but, it's great. Just upgrade your rig. It's running great, it's running fine, it's optimized, it just works.
Oxygen processors don't extend this far.
Yeah.
Yep, just follow Lynn at the start here, and make sure you don't get in front of her. If you get in front of her, she can stop early, which will delay her dialogue here. So every single time she talks, you want to press talk. So, Ugg, talk, wait, Calvert, talk, Benning, talk, wait, Dusty's, or talk. And then once you do that, you want to move on over. You need to make sure that you wait for the start of the dialogues, or else you're going to get yourself slowed down by starting it too early. You're going to pick this up. Hold down the charging thing so the laser goes fast.
I'm busy. Anyone else to bother?
And then you're gonna try to get back to her as fast as possible and skip, then skip. And then follow her. Once again, make sure you don't get in front of her or else she can stop, which is very annoying and slow, and we don't want that.
Well, let's go.
Talk whenever she says well then. Heller will lean as soon as you get the option to talk. And then once this dialogue starts, talk and then turn around. Now, something you need to note right there. You need to probably turn a little bit slow, because if you turn too fast, you will get a soft lock where there's an invisible wall right here. So don't turn around at 95,000 DPI, alright? So you don't need to go absurdly slow, just something reasonable. And then once you come over here, just shoot the thing and press the thing. Normally a good time to be pressing this cutscene is around 4:45. I think that's about my average, is 4:45.
Hey,
All right.
Come on. Okay, take it easy.
Now we're gonna slow down a little bit
No physical
because now
damage.
we're on to kind of
The
new
jury's still
stuff
out.
compared to the SP guide.
You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
As soon as this pops up, you're gonna click on background, scroll down, and select soldier. Should be fourth from the bottom. We have fitness for oxygen, ballistics for increased weapon damage, and boost pack training for boost pack. Go to traits. We want alien DNA, which has increased health and oxygen, very helpful for the ending fight. Introvert, since we're traveling alone pretty much this entire run and we're doing a lot of running. Introvert. And then terra firma, since we're not really ever in actually space, so we're on the surface. R, name your character, enter R.
You're a good find. Well, you got the. You remember anything?
And then on this, you want to select everything as a blank after I went into that tunnel.
All this
Makes
trouble?
this first dialogue here fast. And as soon as you get out of that, Lynn's gonna start talking like clients on his way.
Speak of the
Or speak of the devil.
Client is here. Let's go.
Then you activate her, and then you're gonna run to the switch here, open it, open this door, run back through here, line yourself up in the middle of this thing right here, so that you can just pick it up. So I'm gonna run through that again.
Speak of the dead. Once we sell that rock.
So activate the doors and her. Come down here. Then pick this up. And if you do it fast enough, you'll get here. Aslan is saying our constellation contact is on approach. You want to activate her and Heller, and then run down to the end of the hall.
On approach.
So you want to do this,
Hey, you did a
then
good job,
this.
all right?
All right?
Argos-
So I'm gonna actually show that again because it actually is important that you get this fast, otherwise you'll mess up the timing. So getting good at this backpack pickup is really essential to having a good start here. Okay, skip, run over here, run all the way to the end, try to make sure you're not in the middle of the running paths. Select your helmet and then deep mining pack, and I drop the other one.
Hey, I'm just
Activate Heller when he says, I'm just saying.
Constellation
Skip Heller.
excavation.
Argos needs
They're after
people
that rock, that's
Now
for
let's
sure.
go. Not to them,
You
apparently.
all right?
And then skip Heller one more time so that you get not to them apparently. And once you hear Lynn say not to them apparently, then you press the button for the door to open it earlier.
This has been a good run.
Now I come over here, I like to pick up the 7mm caseless, but I'm not sure if we actually ever use it. And then I like to come here and check these boxes. Sometimes they can have some stuff that's useful. In this case, toxin. Toxin can be useful for a section in New Atlantis. And then, this is the next part here. As soon as this door opens, like so, you want to check the med pack on the right for amp. You really want to get amp. You can have amp or synapse alpha. You want amp, and if you don't get amp, oh well, memes happen. And then you want to make sure that you're not in Barrett's way as he's walking down the ramp, so stay off to the side. And once you're all good, you want to come up and you want to stand right here. And the reason for this, it'll make these guys talk a lot faster. So lots of times there'll be like Barrett, and then there'll be like a 2-second delay before Lynn. And right here you can tell that they're talking as soon as the other one's dialogues are being finished. And this actually ends up saving about 5 seconds for this little section. It's weird, but it's a good time save. So you can start running back after Lynn is about halfway done with this next dialogue where she says, Kazal and no Barrett, not cool. And then you want to run up and be about this close.
Remember what happened.
Is that right?
Skip the dialogue and then exit the conversation on keyboard and mouse. That would be the tab button. And then you want to run back again to make the dialogue speed up. And so that you can grab this barrel right here. So you pick it up with, you hold down the E button to pick it up. You want to hold down for about a second or so. Now, you'll pick it up. And then you're gonna want to wait for this to come down. And as soon as it opens all the way, you want to sprint in and then hold E for half a second to let go of the barrel and then shoot it with your laser cutter. And then kill any pirates that live. And then get a rescue axe and just immediately go back to Barrett over here. And then you want to talk to him. If you see an amp from one of the pirates, go ahead and pick it up, but I really don't like to check that much. But it's up to you.
Well, let's go.
Indigo.
Oh, and hey, take this. Hey, look.
All right, exit the conversation.
Don't let her break my ship.
And then, all right, the boost pack thing. We didn't talk about that, so let's talk about that. So what you want to do is you want to go to your settings and bindings. Oh, let me do that on keyboard and mouse. There we go. And what you want is, I didn't mean to do that. Well, you know what? This is gonna be fine. So scroll on down here until you get to is it your jump? Wait a second. I feel like a dumbass here. I think it's jump. So yeah, you want to bind your jump button to either shift or alt. So I do a shift, and that puts your sprint on space. And what it'll allow you to do is that'll allow you to get a much further boost whenever you do boost. Alright, so once you're inside the ship here, you want to make sure that your weapon is lowered. So if you have your gun out like this, you're actually going to lose a full second whenever you go to sit in the seat. So you want to hold your reload button whatever that may be, so that your gun is lowered, and then get in your pilot seat for the ship.
Shields ready. The rest is up to you.
Okay. Space fight time. So what we like to do is we like to power down the engine and shield down to 1. For now, put everything into your laser just so you don't have to think about it.
It might be wise to test all controls and systems.
And then at any point during this fight, or during this section before the first ship shows up, you want to press E on the planet, or A, whichever input method you're on, just so you have this opportunity to open up the planet map. And then once Bosco gives you that, you want to power up all the systems, so put 1 in a grav. Wait until that little menu pops up, and then power down the grav and shield, and then power up ballistics and missiles. So, right now, we are selected on the planet, and Bosco is about to say, hey, there's a ship coming in from orbit. So, what you want to do is you want to wait until you see the ship, which will always appear directly in front of wherever you're looking and slightly off to the left. And once you actually see the ship start to pop in, you can press your E or A to switch targets onto the ship. The reason why we do this is if you don't lock onto the planet first, your game will auto-lock onto the first ship, and it'll instantly aggro the first ship, and he will always boost away, so you have to do all these turns and flips and stuff to get up to him. And by being locked onto the planet first, he won't do that. He'll just slowly come towards you so that you can shoot him to death. Once you kill him, you want to make sure you pick up all the loot, because Bosco can say 2 lines of dialogue. The first one he can say, if you're slow on killing him, is laser-based weaponry is very effective, which loses 10 seconds if you get that dialogue. And then the second one is we should scan the ship for parts. That also loses 10 seconds. So you have potential to lose up to 20 seconds if you don't do this right. So, for the second fight, you want to make sure that you're not locked onto the ships, or not locked onto the planets. And then you want to, what I like to do is I like to shoot the guy that spawns in first, who also spawns furthest to the left, with my laser until the shields are basically gone. And then I switch targets over to the ship on the right, and I kill him first, and then I go back to the ship I was shooting at and finish him off. Sometimes you have to turn, sometimes you don't. It is a little bit random.
Are jumping into our location, Captain.
So there's this. There's this. Now wait until you get a lock, and then finish this guy off. And then you want to open up your map, tab out, look over at Crete, press X, and then travel to Crete. And when you're in this loading screen here, you can hold tab to instantly open up the map, and then you select the Crete Research Lab, and then you land.
I'll follow you from here on out, Captain.
So you want to exit your ship, and then you want to start running forward and doing the beast pack stuff. I'm not sure exactly what's the best method for doing the beast pack jumps, but I like to do I like to make sure I get 2 boosts in while I'm in the air, so I wait until I have enough and then boost. Boost. Oh, it's like you want to just get as many boosts in as you can. Jump, boost over here, and this will cause the guys over on the right here to spawn early. You want to stay over on the left-hand section so that you don't get the prompt to start talking to these pirates. So there is a barrel behind the pirates over in this direction, and you want to stay over here and shoot that barrel while you're charging up the laser like earlier before. So it's gonna look like this, and then you want to target Brogan. And then I like to check these 2 guys for amps. Very rarely this guy can have an amp, but usually these guys will have amps, and it's very easy to tell if you get one or not. So once these guys are dead and you've either got an amp or you don't, you want to tab out. And then you want to select Alpha Centauri, and then jump. It's down the bottom left corner. And now, once we're in this area, you want to pull up your scanner, and then look for New Atlantis. It can be in different areas of the map, so you just want to look for it and be targeted onto it. And normally you can just land, but if for some reason you can't, it'll ask you to open up the planet map, and then you just select it anyways. It loses a couple seconds, but most of the time you'll be able to just press your land button immediately after by just looking at it. Okay, now we're at the fun part. You want to exit your ship, and then what you want to do is you want to equip your rescue axe, and this is optional, but it will save time. Is you want to bind all the different weapons and stuff that you're going to use throughout the run to, you know, these little quick slots. I play on controller. If you play on keyboard and mouse, it's going to look slightly different for you, but for me, I like to do cutter axe, D-pad down, cutter, D-pad up. And then if you got an amp from earlier, you can come down and bind it as well. I recommend that if you do get an amp early, that you do bind it at this point, given that you want to spend as little time in these minis as possible. And I just find that it's probably a little bit more optimal to do this as early as you can, but you will not always get amp by this part in the game. So if you don't have an amp, then you're just gonna bind just the axe and the cutter. And then you want to go into third person, and then make your way on over to this area. So this is the first clip of the run. The first thing you want to look for is if there's anybody in the way of these walls between these doors. So right here, you can't clip at the moment because there's people here and there's people here. But right here is free and right here is free. Specifically, what you're looking for is the middle of these 2 lines. You want to make sure that this middle section right here is free. It's freed up for you. So it's the same over here, between the 2 lines. Between the 2 lines. Between the 2 lines. So then what you want to do is, I like to look this direction. Some people will look this direction. Not the biggest fan of that myself, but
Sergeant
I like
Newman's
to
looking
look
for
this
reliable
way
people to help the guard.
and
Contact him if you're interested.
line my
I'll
foot
appreciate it.
up, my right foot, on the white line where it meets the concrete. And then I like to make sure that I'm somewhat lined up with this middle part right here, since this is where you're actually clipping through. And then what you want to do is you want to get in a battle stance. So right here, I'm in idle stance, which can happen kind of frequently if you're not, if you're too slow. But you want to just quickly press block to get yourself into battle stance. And then you want to jump. And then about a couple frames before you land, you want to hold it towards the wall. So if you're on keyboard and mouse and you're looking this direction, it's D. And if you're right here looking this direction, it's A. And you want to press it just a couple frames before you hit the ground. Like, press and hold for like maybe like half a second. And if you do it right, you will clip right through the wall. So again, jump right before you hit the ground, hold towards the wall.
Got a call someone's power kept going out. You know what it was? A heat leak wrong with my leg.
And it works anywhere where you have access to that part of the wall. This might work because the lady isn't directly on the line, but she is pretty close. So it may not work in this right here. Yeah, I think the lady's a little bit too close to the wall for it to work. You really want to make sure that the area you're trying to go through is clear of AI. But right here should work. After a couple of attempts anyways. Look at Vasco getting in the way here. Very nice. I think I'm not exactly lined up here. Sometimes it doesn't work, and it's just because you're off with your timing of holding. That almost worked right there. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of going through this wall. This one at the end here, because technically it's slower because you end up further away, and I just find it's not as consistent. The one I like to go through the most is this one right here. But in theory, I think this one is technically the fastest. At least I'm pretty sure it works right here. Okay, maybe I'm wrong about this one. So I guess anywhere from here up to here is where you want to do it at. This one right here would technically be the fastest if you're going to be doing this method. So once you get through the wall, you want to look back towards the ship, start running in beast packing back. And then you'll notice right here, there's this little V-shaped ledge. You want to jump, and you can get a clamber on it. Now, once you clamber, you want to look at this crate, and you want to pick up the credits. And then, once you fall back down, you're gonna head this way. So this is where you normally go. That's where we just zipped through. There's this crate. And then you want to run this way. Get some boots in. All that good jazz. And then you want to make your way around to this area right here. Now, once you're up here, you want to crouch down look down, and every single time you're going to press E to get the sidearm, and then you're going to press R to enter this menu. Once you're in this menu, you're going to look for ammo. Sometimes it's not always in the spot. It can be a couple ones up or down. So you just want to go to ammo, and then just steal all the ammo. Just click on them. And then you want to go down to resources. And the first one you want to click on is argon. Take it all. Scroll all the way down to the M's. Metabolic agent. Take all. Scroll down again to T's. Tetrafluorides. This one, sometimes it'll be less than 5. And if you see a number less than 5 here, you're going to have to click individually, because this option will not pop up. You definitely want to make sure you take a look at this number here, because if it's a number that's not high enough and you press R, it'll make you take everything in this entire crate, which is not good. So once you get the tetrafluorides, you go down to toxin and get the toxin. Press escape twice to get out of this menu. Make your way on over to here, and you want to jump inbounds between the edge of this square and between here. You do not want to jump inbounds in this corner, because otherwise you will get stuck by this piece right here. You can also jump inbounds here. Wait, can you? No, you can't. I'm a liar. So yeah, you want to jump in right here, between here and here. Like I said, if you jump inbounds in this corner, you will get stuck. So don't do that. Don't do it. And then you want to make your way on over to the train. And then go over to the Mast District. So now that we're here, what I like to do is, if and only if I got an amp before this point, I like to use it at this point. So use amp, and then start running. And you just want to make your way on over to the lodge. And with amp, it's a very fast route. Basically just follow exactly what I'm doing here.
Here we are, the lodge.
And then you would enter the lodge. Now, let's say that we did not get amp.
Here we are, the lodge.
Let me
The front door should unlock if you hold
Give
up
me one
the
second.
watch that Merritt gave you. I have messaged the other members of Constellation. They will be
So
waiting for
let's
us.
just go through the route if you did not get amp, because it is slightly different. Not by much, but just by a little bit.
Performing that feat regularly could lead to permanent injury.
So I'm just gonna travel here real quick to get rid of the amp. Oh yeah, that's why you don't use amp after you do the zip, because then you only use it for like 20 seconds of walking normally, and then you do this mass district, and then your amp goes away anyways. This section to the lodge is a much further run, so that's why amp should only be used here. So if you don't have amp, then you're just gonna be doing the route like this. You wanna come up to the top here, then run around. It's only slightly different, but it is different enough that I thought it was worth mentioning. And then you enter the lodge. And then you enter the lodge.
Everyone will be in.
Walk up to Sarah. And then just try to get through this dialogue as fast as possible. Make sure you select Pirates
I
Attacked
see.
for the fastest
Boss man.
All
dialogue.
statements made.
Walter,
And if we hadn't but that didn't.
thank you, Mateo. What happened when it...
Select this.
Interesting.
Come on over here and pick up this guide, which permanently reduces fall damage by 5%. And then once you do that, you want to stay over by this door. Mateo's going to say, there, are you hearing this? Do you all believe me now? And what you're waiting for is you're waiting for the subtitles, or if you're just using your ears, you want to wait for Walter to say whether or not it happened wasn't in doubt. Once he says whether, that's when you can exit the lodge. If you go too early, then you will get a soft lock. So you exit once he says whether it happened, and then you wait for the mission status to update in the top left corner, and then you can re-enter the lodge. And then you want to run on over, place the artifact, and immediately leave. And then you want to wait 4 seconds out here before re-entering. And if you did it right, then things will work. And then what you want to do is you want to run forward until you get just past the edge of this carpet. Once you pass over the edge of the carpet, you're going to hold back so that you're as close to this door as possible. So, run back. And then you're going to go through this dialogue.
Come find me. And here, in addition to credit...
Then you're going to open up this door. Open up this door. Come on down here. And use the research lab. This is where all the resources that we stole earlier will come in handy. So we're going to click on the first one. Pharmacology. Performance Enhancement 1. And then input everything that you get. Because of randomness, you can sometimes, it'll complete other ones for you. But you shouldn't rely on that, so you should always, just expect yourself to press A, or E, whatever it is you're using, obviously, and then exit. Come on over here to the lab, and then you want to craft as many amp as you can. And now you're going to go to your inventory, weapons, select the sidearm, and then you're going to map that if you want to go fast. And if you haven't got an amp at this point, you would then go to aid and then map your amp. And then while we're at it, we're going to go to our skills, and we're going to put a point in astrodynamics, which will help with grab jump range, and persuasion and social. Since we only have 2 skill points at this point every time, these are the 2 that we're going to go with. And then we're going to open up the map, select New Atlantis, travel, and this is going to put us back at the spaceport. And then you want to run up to this guy.
Anything I can help you with? And here's your new
And
guy.
get into dialogue with them, and then you're going to press, let me see what ships you have for
I'm sure you
sale.
can find something.
Now, this may change in the future, but what we go with, since it's always here and it's always the same value, is we go with the Rambler. It gives us enough jump range for what we need. And that's about all that's good about it, because it is a terrible ship for combat. It turns very slow, and it has really bad weapons. Yeah, it's fun, but this is what we go with, so we're doing it. Alright, press back, press OK that's your home ship, and then do I like to view and modify my
Okay,
ships.
no problem.
Go into ship builder, and if you are on keyboard and mouse, you're gonna go down to this part right here. Hold on a second. Well, I guess if you're on keyboard and mouse, you want to do G for attach. And then... can you do weapons? I'm used to doing this on controller. Interesting. Where is it? I kind of feel really dumb right now because the shouldn't be doing this, but oh my god, I can't believe I'm having this problem, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm
no
looking
problem.
for duplicate, yeah, because it's faster to duplicate. But yeah, on keyboard or on controller, I just press this right here, duplicate, put it right here. Press control and hold it down. Okay. Oh, okay. Man, that is annoying that you have to do that. Yeah, this is why I do this on controller, because I don't like that. So yeah, you want to hold down control, press G, and then attach it right here. Same thing here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna always stick to doing that on controller, but there you go. This is how your ship should look. So an extra laser and some extra engines. Cool. Accept it.
Everything looks good here. I'll be at my booth if you need me.
And then you want to go into your map. And then you want to jump to Cheyenne, which is up and to the right. So you up and to the right. Cheyenne, jump. And then you're going to make a jump on over to this gigantic star here, Arcturus. I think this works too, but I'm just used to doing it more like I'm just used to doing the big star because it's just right there. Yeah, big star, Arcturus.
This is Freestar Collective Space.
And you want to put as many points as possible into the grab drive so it jumps very fast. And then go down to your map again. And this time it's going to be in the bottom right over here. Hyla. Very important star system. So once you're in the Hyla system, open up your map, press tab once, and you're going to be going to Hyla 2, which is over here. Should be always in this area right here. So you want to jump to Hyla 2. And now we have the coolest skip in the run. So when you open up your map, it should look basically like this every time. If you did the route, you know, like pretty closely. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna drag your planet view all the way back to here, you may not always have these industrial outposts things showing up, but you want to look for a couple things. So there's this lake right here, very straight, and then a little tiny pond. I guess it's technically more like a lake and this is more ocean, but you want to make sure that the continents match up. Like if you're really slow or you have a bad RNG seed, like sometimes it'll be facing over here. But most of the time, I would say 99% of the time, it should be in this area right here where what you're looking for. So once you're in this general area with this continent, you want to zoom in. And there's going to be a couple things that we're looking for. So, this is a pretty precise trick. How precise? Not pixel perfect, but you can easily mess it up if you don't know what you're doing, because this is not intended. So, what I like to do is I like to find Florida Junior right here, you know, the little line down. There's these little like claw marks over here, little Y down here. Something that you're just gonna have to kind of get used to. But to the left of the little Florida Junior and up, there is this M right here. Or bunny ears, if you like. I just call it an M because it looks like an M. And then down and to the right of that, there is another M/W looking thing. I would say it looks more like a W, but anyways, so I'm actually going to kind of draw it with my cursor here so you understand. So down to the bottom right, there's this little W, but connecting to the W is a little line that goes in this direction. So the W looks like this, then this, basically. So that line that connects to the start of the W is very important. So you can see that the line is still in the middle left of my cursor right now. So what you want to do is you want to move your cursor to the right until all you see is basically the start of the W. And you want to make sure that it's basically horizontally centered to the left. So you want it to look like this. If you try to click like here, it won't work. If you try to click here, it won't work. You want to make sure that the line is basically centered with the edge of the cursor. So something like this. And then you want to click on it so that you have the option to land. Should look something like this if you do it right. So again, something like that. It's not uber precise, but it is easy to fail if you do mess it up. So if you back out, it's going to look like this. Bunny ears. Bunny ears M, down to the bottom right, the W with the line to the left. Then land. And there's a couple ways to tell if you got it. The first one is the ship angle whenever it comes in. So there's a couple different ways that the ship can land, or the angle that you get. So the two things that you're looking for that indicate to you if you got it is a gigantic mountain or a lake of any kind. And those are the indicators that I use to see if I got it. Sometimes you get these really bad camera angles where you can't tell anything. But if we exit the ship, you'll see that there is this mountain over here. And that means that we definitely got it. And over in this direction, there is a lake. And if you see that lake or see this mountain as your ship is coming down, you can feel pretty confident about it. But as you saw, the camera angles that we got were not very good. Like, we only saw like this thing right here and this right here, but those could also mean that you failed it. So once you land on the planet, you want to put on an amp, and you want to start running in this direction, which is basically south. So northwest is this way, you can tell on the compass because it's, you know, a much thicker line. So you want to run south towards these little hills. You want a boost pack along the way. And you'll see that there are some animals on your radar. At some point, we will want to shoot at some of them. But if they're these herders right here, most of the time, if you shoot at them, they won't get you in combat. So we're looking for, I think, triclops or something, like triclops or something, or hunting. But yeah, herders most of the time will not give you what we want. This right here, a hunting lockjaw. You just want to take a second and shoot at him. And that'll allow you to get your boost pack charged up for the perk. You won't always get it charged up in time, or be able to get rank 2 every time that we leave this planet, but I would say probably about 70% of the time you can get the boost pack leveled up at least once. And then you want to jump off and start making your way over to this little island. So something that you can do is you can jump, and then as you're about to land, you can activate your jetpack, and that'll allow you to sort of glide along the water. It's a bit of a tricky timing. And if you're really good, you can chain the boost packs by boost packing as you're about to go down into the water. So boost pack. It's pretty difficult, but you can chain them, and it is faster. But anyways, once you're on the island over here, you want to make your way on over to the end. And now you'll see this console here. And these consoles, let's assume that you haven't played the main game at all, or the main story. You can move this beam of light to basically show you a spot that you're supposed to go to. So if you click it here, it'll move it to the right. If you click it here, it'll move it to the left. So what you want to do is you want to do left, 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 and then down for the fastest one. So it's gonna look like this. And once you do that, you're gonna get a mission update. And then you want to open up your mission map and set course towards this part on the mission. Then you want to jump. And then you want to go through this dialogue here.
You should come aboard. I can speak Constellation ship. I will personally get... And think of it as a... Good.
And then you need to get within 500 meters so that you can dock. And once you dock, you're going to want to board. And they're going to run forward and then start this dialogue exchange.
You remember the... Thank you. Your
So once you get to this part where it'll give you an option, you want to press just tell me who you are, who the Starborn are. It's the fastest option. So it's option number 3.
We are not. We are all the emissaries we needed. For whom?
And then this one, you want to select either 2 or 3. Number 1 here is the slowest, so either I agree or you're talking in circles are basically the exact same time.
Good. The unity.
And then this one right here, you can select either one, doesn't matter.
I'm not where I came. One of me. I collected that.
And then you want to select, I need to see this unity for myself.
And that's the problem. All the art you've witnessed. Here it comes. You're twisted. They're hip. I attacked you. That wasn't some. As I was also you.
And then for this one, you want to select, I'm nothing like you. Number 3.
You mean yet? I have hope. You've never. You're going to tip this.
And then this one right here, you're going to want to select number 1.
Bingo. I want it. Yes.
And then run on back.
Before you leave, seek them here.
And then right here, you want to select fine. I will see what I can find on the moon.
That is all I ask. You should also part of me.
And now you want to go to the cockpit of your ship, open up your missions, and select return to the lodge. Bada boom. Open up the lodge. Run on over here and talk to Vladimir.
Mateo told us.
You found it, didn't you? Wait. You can't possibly. Yes,
And just do these dialogue
I
options.
don't even think. Plus, what it would do. You have. One doesn't. You're right.
Not to make it. Let me know.
Alright, so once he says, let me know when you're ready to know what it's seen, you want to pull out your cutter and pop an amp before you talk to him. And then select, thanks Vladimir, I'll follow up on these. And then pull up your mission map. And you can do either one of these first, but we, in the run, we like to do Synthonia first. And this will always be a Synthonia if you use that save that I mentioned at the beginning. It will always be this exact planet for the artifact. It's our RNG manipulation. So, once you jump, this should be Forgotten Mech Graveyard. Now it's possible that there may end up being a faster artifact than this at some point in the future, but right now this seems to be the fastest one. So you want to turn to the left, and you want to follow this pathing. You want to get some boost pack training up, so you want to shoot at this guy as you're passing by him. And then make your way on over here to this cave and enter Scavenger Cave. Then you're gonna make your way on over and this path here. use your cutter, and then take Artifact Omicron. The hitbox can be a little bit weird, so you may have to move your mouse around in order to actually get the prompt. Thanks, Bethesda. And then you want to run on out. You don't want to fight the Starborn. So once you exit, you want to pull out your axe, and then you want to pull up your scanner. And it's very important that you pull up the scanner, because if you try to fast travel to your ship, it will not let you fast travel to your ship from here. But it will let you fast travel if you use your scanner to fast travel. So use your scanner, and then fast travel to your ship. And then go to your mission list, and then go to Freya. Now, right here, what you want to do is you want to ignore the satellite, hold tab to bring up the map, hold R to scan the planet. And once you scan, then the Shannon Research Station will pop up on your radar, and then you're going to land. And now, something that's going to save a little bit of time is you're going to exit your ship. And after you exit your ship and you're all loaded in, you're going to pull up the map and then fast travel to the same point. And it'll skip about 10-15 seconds of walking. And then you're going to run up to the door and then select item from Constellation. Make sure you have your axe out, and then open in Sheena. So now, we're going to be doing a zip. And I guess we're going to be using the speedometer to try to help us with that. So as we move around, you can see that we have stuff. We have speed, blah, 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 blah. So what you want to do is you want to have your back up against this door, and then you want to jump and then hold forward and then block at basically the same time. Block, I guess, a little bit later. So jump, hold forward, block, and then once you land, you want to wait for your character to do a little bit of foot animation that shows that, hey, I'm on the ground. And then you want to pause your game. And the number you should see when you pause is going to be between 1.5 and 1.9 in most cases. But 2.0s can sometimes work, and as can 1.3 to 1.4. But more often than not, the number you're going to be looking for is between 1.6 and 1.9 when you pause. If you see a 200 and like a 100 plus number, that means that you are pausing too late. And this is a frame perfect trick. So you want to pause, and it's at 2.2. I can immediately tell that this is either early or late, whichever one, it probably doesn't matter. You do not, if you see like a 2.2, you can abandon it most of the time. So this is a 1.3, and it actually worked. So the way that you tell that it worked is once you press quick save, and if you are looking at the speedometer, you will see the high 200 number for probably about 3 or 4 frames, which means you'll actually be able to see it with your eyes and you will know. If you're in a situation where you look at it and you're like, man, I think I saw it, more than likely you did not get it, because if you time it right, that number will stay on your screen long enough for you to actually know that, okay, that was more than just one frame. And most of the time, if it is one frame that you see it, that means you were probably a frame too early, more than likely. So that right there, it was a 1.3 and it worked. So now we're gonna press the button to load the save, and the first number you're gonna see on the speedometer is the high 200 number. And if you see the high 200 number, then that means that more than likely you got through, but that's not always the case. Sometimes you can get the high number, you can have it timed right, but because you were slightly off on where you landed, it didn't work. So that right there was a 1.7, and I'm pretty sure it worked. And it did. So you have until Ethan says, I am declaring a code yellow. So if you're failing it a lot, right? So you fail, you fail, you fail, you fail. I would say right here, that's your last possible one. If you get the right frame, that was not the right frame, but if you were to get it at exactly that point, you would barely probably be able to make it. Now, let's say that you didn't get it. What do I do then? At this point, you want to do the same thing, but on this door instead. I don't think that worked, even though it was the right frame, but let's see. Yeah, slightly did not work. I find it helps if you start more in the corner than directly in the doorway, but just depends. That right there, I think worked. I'm not sure. Did not quite work. So... And if you still end up failing it too much, then it's probably worth it to just let Ethan talk to you and just go through. But let me just show you this just so you guys know what it looks like. Okay, that one looked really good. So we got through, and we're falling. That's fine. So now what we want to do is you want to load the save and spam the pause button as fast as you can. Go down to photo mode. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be spawned looking this direction. We're going to want to turn and start jetpacking over to the bottom of this structure here. We want to end up right underneath the bottom of right here, kind of towards the front area. So it's going to look like this. And if you do that, you will end up right here, which is where you need to be. Now, oh, yes, you do need 60 FPS for these tricks. So yeah. Gonna do it a couple times just so everyone here can see the right lineup. So that right there is what happens if you fail it for whatever reason. It'll teleport you back to the doorway, which is annoying. So yeah, this is where you want to be teleported to. And then you're going to go through here, pull out your sidearm, and you're going to kill one of these guys. And one thing to make sure of is once the spider dude is dead, you need to make sure you fire one extra bullet. And that will trigger the sequence to teleport you back.
Easy.
If you don't shoot an extra bullet, then you won't get teleported back.
But there's nothing here. I should have never let.
So you just want to select these dialogue options, run in front of Ethan, go into this corner, and then he'll open up the door, which you can run through before its animation actually all the way opens. So just some time save. Then you want to run up here. I like to search this box for a shotgun shell. And then you want to talk to Raphael.
Finally, someone. The distress signal.
So once you get to this part where he says stop, no, who are you? You want to exit.
What is it?
Alright. So now the next 60 FPS trick for the funny things. There's going to be this little desk here. I like to line myself up kind of towards the middle, but also kind of in the front. So something like this. And then I like to aim my reticle between here and here. So something like this. And then you want to do the same trick. You want to jump, hold forward, block, and then pause the game as you land, and then hit quick save. And I'm pretty sure I got it first try there. It seemed to be the right frame. So if you do it right, this is what you'll most of the time get. It is possible for you to go too far and end up in this room. So I would say you can either do another backup sip from inside here through this wall, or you can create a hard save while you're setting up this sip so that you have a backup save to go back to just in case this happens. It doesn't happen often. I've had it happen twice, but it is something that can happen that you should be aware of. So again, the numbers you're looking for when you land is between 1.3 to 1.9. If you see 170 when you pause, that means you were too late. That right there, 1.01, I think that's early. It is early. It did not work. 1.79, that seemed like a decent number, but it didn't work because the number I saw after was not the high 200 number. The number you see right after you press quick save will be the high 200 number for more than just a fraction of a second, or like more than just a frame. It'll be a couple frames. That right there, that seemed decent. Didn't quite work. It was the right timing, but just didn't get lucky with where I landed. That right there, I have a pretty high confidence that that will work. And you're through. So once you're through here, what you want to do is you want to line yourself up with this computer and then look directly 90 degrees to the right of it. And you can fall down right between this gap here. You can also get a clamber on it. If you do get a clamber, you just need to hold back. But what you want to do is you want to fall down, and I'm going to try to show this in photo mode. So, where we just were is right here. So we fell right down the gap, and we're going to boost pack ourselves forward. And we're going to keep boost packing ourselves forward until we get right underneath this section right here. So you'll see that there's a table, a light, a cube, that's actually an elevator, and it's kind of close to the edge of this section of the map. So we start from over here and end up over here. It's a pretty big section that we're boosting through. So you want to line, if you're in first person, you want to go further than you think you should. If you don't line up correctly, you're going to teleport back to that same spot. So again, it's going to be boost, boost, maybe another boost. And then you'll end up here if you do it right. I'm going to show this a couple more times because, yeah, this time I'll do it in third person. Boost, boost, and you're here. Now, if you don't go forward enough, it is possible that you get into another section. So, let me show that real quick. You can sometimes end up in this room, and this is because you didn't go forward enough. So the goal, so the fix to that is going forward more before you get teleported. And then you want to activate the elevator. And now we're going to do the same trick again. So what I like to do is I like to line up with my booty butt against this railing anywhere between here and here. And then you're going to do the same trick as we've been doing. Again, 60 FPS is required. And we're going to go through the back of the elevator. So it's 1.3. It has potential. Let's quick save. I did not see the high 200 number, so it was off. 1.39, another decent one. Quick save. I saw the right number, the 200 number. Let's try it. It did not work, but it was the right frame. It was just slightly off on the positioning, which really, you can't really exactly tell what the issue is when that happens. As far as I'm concerned, that's just random unluckiness. So we're gonna keep trying it. Okay, that was a 1.79 and it worked. I'm pretty sure this is gonna get me out. Again, unlucky. Did not like that. Was not the right timing. Not the right timing. 1.8. Looked like the right frame. Let's see if we got out. And we did. In my opinion, this is either the worst skip of the run, or it's close. That this is one of the worst ones in the run so far. Not a fan of this. You can try to add an angle to it so you're not going straight forward, and maybe that'll help. I have a slight feeling that the reason why this one doesn't always work is because you end up landing a little bit too close to the wall. So by looking at an angle like this, you can give yourself artificial, not really artificial, but you can give yourself more distance between where you land and the wall. That right there, right number, looked good. Let's try it, and we got out. So let's try to get that again. Yes, in my opinion, this is the worst one of the worst ones in the run. Again, looked like the right number. Okay. Yeah, it looks like adding the extra little bit of artificial like distance by going at this at an angle instead of going at it straight on helps. Not the right number, not the right timing. Look like the right timing. Let's see if it worked. And it did. Now sometimes when you do this, you're gonna be falling like the other one. So if that happens, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go into photo mode, like so, and it's gonna be off to your left. So you're gonna boost to the left, and this one is really annoying if you do get this scenario. Like, it is really annoying to try to save. So again, it's gonna be 90 degrees to the left. You're gonna go, and hope that you get up-warped into the lab. This has only happened a couple of times, but every time it's happened, it's really bad. Because it is very, very hard to actually get this to be saved. Again, go underneath. And then you're gonna end up in the lab if you do it right. Now, hopefully that doesn't happen. But it can happen. So, just showing you that backup. So, if you stay up here, what I like to do is I like to put on amp. And come off to the left. And then jump and jetpack up onto this rock here. It's a bit of a curve. So again, this is where we zipped out of. We're going to be looking this direction. Amp, jump, and curve up onto this rock, like so. And then what you want to do is you want to jump into the lab by running forward and jetpacking through this wall in front of me. Like so. It's not that hard. So once you come in, you're going to have 7 buttons to press, and I'm going to show you the route that I choose to do it. So you come here, press, come over to here, press, go up the stairs, press, go around, press, jump, and boost back up to here, press, make sure that they do press if you get hit by one of these spiders. Jump straight down, press, run on over here, press. And then jump up here, and then shut down the experiment, and take the artifact. Now, if you get poisoning, it's okay. If you get severe poisoning, it can be less okay. You can choose to craft... what is it? To craft some injector at the Pharma Lab at the start of the game, where we crafted amp. But in order to do that, you need to pick up an additional ingredient from the resources in that one crate. And that extra resource is membrane. I personally don't choose to get injector, as I personally have found that even with severe poisoning, I haven't found it actually destroying a run, like completely just nuking a run. So it's just a safety thing, I guess, if you want to do that or not. So let me show this in full speed. Turn around after you do that, and then you can run down here. Now, if you do a lot of boost packing, most of the time you can get this jetpack, the rank 3. And at this point, once you have the rank 3 boost pack, go to combat and you want to get your shotgun certification. I like to wait until I have 2 things to get at the same time before I do it. They're just menu optimization, so I like to wait until I get rank 3, because around rank 3 is when I know for sure that I'll have enough skill points to also get the shotgun. And that is it for things that you absolutely should get. You can also get the ship thrusters if you would like. It can help you turn some in the final fight. I haven't been doing that, but I guess it can help with the final ship fight. So, if you only have the rank 2 boost pack at this point, or like you get the rank 2 boost pack at the end of Ninshina, because if you're still on rank 1 by the end of Ninshina, you're losing a lot of time. A lot. So I would say if you get rank 2 or rank 3, then it's your choice as to whether or not you want to get the shotgun or the, what is it? Piloting. And if you have enough skill points at this point, then go ahead and just get them both. But yeah, piloting, shotgun, beast pack. And then exit Ninshina. So, something that you can do, that you don't have to do, is, you don't exactly have the most amount of time to do this, so let me go through one more thing again. One more run through of this. So so what I would say is, as you're leaving the lab here and you're choosing to get all of this stuff, is probably right around this point, I would pack another amp before going through this load zone.
You're back. I wasn't sure. I mean,
and then go through this dialogue.
You're welcome to any. Now.
And now open up Ninshina outside. And then once you go here, go to Unearthed. Open up the map. Oh yeah, I do that by holding tab, by the way. In case that wasn't clear, you hold down the tab button and it'll bring up the star map instantly. So you want to exit the ship and then go around to the right, jump, and then do a couple boost packs. I like to do either 2 or 3. And now you're going to activate this recording here, and you're going to bring up the map. The faster you do it, the better, so obviously if you can time it, that would be nice. And then you want to back out to the view of the solar system, go to Earth, press X, travel, and then you're going to open up the map again, and then land at the NASA tower. Now, there's a chance for you to get a dialogue skip here that will save time, but I have yet to figure out exactly how to do it. So you exit, and then once you exit the ship, you're going to fast travel again to the NASA launch tower, and this is going to bring you a lot closer to the front. If you get the dialogue skip, these two people's dialogues will overlap, and it'll be very cool. So you want to pick up this cell, and then jump on top of this thing, jump here, and then there's two paths here that you can take. The one I do the most is I jump, and then boost pack, and then clamber onto this little ledge here. And then you jump up here. And then you can open up the door here once the dialogue is over. So, let me show that again.
Any changes to the calculation sequence from Voltaire?
No changes since we uploaded the last figures yesterday. It's a clean shot from here to Jupiter.
One day the computer will be on board the spaceship. Just imagine that.
One miracle of science at a time, Canaveral. Counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Canaveral, are you reading?
All clear, Nova. Indicators look good. The ship should be cruising Jupiter's orbit right now. Visual confirmation will be possible
and if you time the amp at the right time, then it'll end around here.
How does it feel to break the laws of physics, Canaveral?
We're all pretty excited down here in NASA, I won't lie.
Excited enough to tell me where you got the original data?
Not in a million years, Nova.
Once the dialogue is ended, you can open this up, and you can place the power cell we picked up earlier into here. Alternatively, you can pick this one up and then insert it. I like to pick it up early, just because I think it's slightly faster to already be looking at this rather than having to look at this, then do that, but funny stuff, memes. Then you come over here, open up the door, then enter NASA. And now we have the NASA clips. Oh boy, oh joy. There's a couple different setups for this. And by setups, I mean kind of just winging it. So the first one is you're going to be set up kind of around this line here on the floor. And then you're going to jump and then land in front of this dirt pile. So it's going to look something like this. I'm just going to keep going until I get it. In my opinion, this is probably the worst one. You should not be doing this one. This one is very annoying. Because of the dirt pile, probably. I don't think that was timed right, but let's see. It felt sort of right, sort of wrong. Yeah, didn't quite work. Seemed close, though. Okay, I think that one worked. And if it works, then you'll be directly on top of this, and you don't really have to worry about falling back in bounds. And then you would just go on over to here, and I'm going to show the rest of this route in a moment, because I'm going to go to the other two setups that there is. So, if I can get back in bounds. Let's get back in bounds. Very nice. So the second setup, and this is the one that I use, is right about here. I line my back up with this beam, and then I basically line myself up with these cardboard boxes, and then I just go for it. And I think that was first try. Now this one you have to enter photo mode for. So if you feel like you got it, go into photo mode, and then you want to boost pack over to the right. So again, photo mode, boost pack over to the right, because if you land on top of this ceiling over here, you will fall back in bounds, and you do not want that. Okay, so now I'm gonna go over to the last one. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, again, line yourself up with the back of this beam or around where the beam would be. Look in the general area of these cardboard boxes, and then go for it. Photo mode. Did not quite work that time, but it was very close. I'm pretty sure that one worked. I'm not sure. That one felt pretty close. Did not quite work. Yeah, these NASA clips are very bad. Not the right timing. Not the right timing. Not the right timing. I don't think that was the right timing. Let me check it. I would say 99% of the time. If you have to question it, then it probably isn't correct, because you should be able to easily see the high 200 number, since it lingers on for a couple more frames than if it wasn't correct. That one probably was early. No, that one was right, and it worked. I got lucky there with where I landed, but like I said, most of the time you need to go to photo mode and then boost over to the right. And once you're on top of this part, obviously you're gonna boost on over to here, and there's that setup. And now, oh yes, that's a good thing to bring up. I would say most of the time, whenever I load into NASA, my speedometer doesn't work, so you just quick save and quick load to have it start showing numbers again. Or you do what I do and I just go for one attempt, like one attempt just based on feels. And yeah. And then the third setup. Dante, one of the people who has very good competitive times on this game, he says that this one's the best, but I am not the fan of it. Not the biggest fan of it. But for that one, you want to open up the door, jump up to here, and then you want to go into this corner here. And I don't know the exact lineup. I'm going to say it's probably right around here. You want to do the same thing. I've never been the biggest fan of this setup, but if you find it easier, then by all means, go for it, I'm just not the biggest fan of this setup because I find it's not that consistent. I think that's a little bit better, so slightly more to the right is probably the better goes. I'm getting out of bounds frames now, so something like this is where you should be looking, I guess. That seemed good. Didn't quite work. Yeah, like I said, this one is probably my least favorite of the setups. But I'm pretty sure that yeah, it's just preference as to what you want to do and what works for you. Like, if you get this one to work for you, then hell yeah, you know, go for it. That's why I'm showing this off. I'm just giving you guys as many options as I can. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to get this one for the video and whatnot. Yeah, I'm not even gonna be able to do this one, unfortunately. It just doesn't work that well for me. So I'm just gonna get out with the one I know. And the one that I'm comfortable with. Well, as comfortable as you can be for a one-frame trick, you know? Keep timing it wrong. Early. That feels pretty good. I think it's based on a trick from another one of Bethesda's games, but I wouldn't swear to it. But yeah, so once you land here, jump on over to here. And then I like to make a quick save on top of this area just in case. So the next part is you want to run along these pipes. Jump and boost pack twice to get over to this rock. Then you want to run, jump, boost pack, land on top of this little rectangle, jump, jump, run along the pipe, jump, boost pack, land. And as long as you have at least a level 2 boost pack, you're able to just jump, boost pack, boost pack, boost pack. And then you can just come right on in, use the computer, go to access station logs, and then click September 8th, 2160. Then escape, escape, escape. Release the artifact. You can pick this up if you want. There's another, there's like a couple paths you can take here. I think the one I'm going to show off first is the one that Dante uses. So, let me make a quick save here. So, what he does is he picks up this maintenance key, runs over here, opens up this door, and then what he does is he boost packs up to that little staircase.
12 days of lost time. I met myself. He told me.
And then he runs down here.
The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere.
And then he picks it up. Now that's one possible path. Let's time that real quick because I'm actually curious. Okay, 25. 25.
He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because of what we have done.
Hold on 1 second. Let me do that one more time because I'm actually curious about how long this takes. Okay, 40.
12 days.
45.
I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because
yeah, about 15 seconds with this route. So that's one route, and then there's also this route.
I experienced 12 days of lost time. I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away.
Yeah, this one is slower, but it's the one So there's the two paths. I would say that it is faster to pick up the maintenance key here, and then do this path.
I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon.
So once you pick this up, there's a couple things that you can do. So there are a couple paths here that you can take. So what is it that he does? So I think what Dante does is he runs back up, goes through here, and then he comes into this doorway, and then he does a clip from here. I am not a fan of this at all, but it is one way for you to do it. I don't really think I need to show it. You can kind of just see how it works for yourself. You just start kind of in this little corner, go at an angle, and then zip through right here. Personally, I'm not a fan of that setup. So what I would do is I would come through here, pick this up,
Everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon.
pick this up, and if there's anything in the way here, like these boxes, move them out of the way, and then you do a zip here. And that one seemed to work. Photo mode. Now with this one, there's this room here, so you need to boost to the right. You want to be in the middle of here and here. So boost this way, and then you'll teleport back to right here. And that's what I like to use. Then you open up the launch NASA tower, and then you're going to want to jetpack your way on over.
Do you understand? An easy trick. Assuming. Don't you see? How many would you see the apart in the wrong hand?
So once you get to this part, you're going to want to select your both roll.
Don't be a fool. For once.
And then I'm tired of you both.
Well, you've made your meaning.
So once you do that, what you want to do is you want to fast travel to your ship. And you want to start traveling your way on over to Masada. So there's two ways you can do it. You can either just keep opening up your map, your mission map, and then selecting each star system along the way. So going along this path. I believe what Dante does is he selects here, opens up the map, and then he travels to here. And then to here. And then finally to Masada, over to here. What time is it? Alright, let's see here. So that's just one option you have.
understand. An easy trick. Assuming. Don't you see? How many would you see the in the wrong hand? Don't be a for what? Well, you've made your meaning.
And then, of course, I said the other route is to do it like this. I'm not sure if any of these are any better than the others, because you're still doing a lot of menuing either way. You're either going down, selecting, then selecting, or you're tabbing. They're probably both about the same. So, there's two reasons why we go against them. So there's number one reason is there's 2 zips that you have to do at the end of the game, and by not having either the hunter or the emissary, it basically guarantees us that we won't get any of them being in our way. In my opinion, I think it also makes the space battle here a lot more consistent. And the other big one is at the end, when you persuade the person to give you the artifacts. By not having either one of them, once you persuade check, you can instantly basically grab the final artifact. Whereas if you do it the other way, by having either the hunter or the emissary as an ally, you have to go talk to them first, go through a couple different dialogue options, and then it'll start the sequence for the artifact powering down, which loses probably about 15 seconds on its own. So that is why we go with having no one as an ally. So, well, you finally showed up, no more words. You can either choose any of these, but personally what I start to do is I just exit, and then it says they're cutting comms, and then you want to fight the ships. I like to go for the big boys first, so the Helix and the Scorpius. And right here, having piloting is helping us turn just a little bit faster, but this fight is pretty obnoxious. Yeah, piloting will help somewhat with your turning here, but it's still going to be annoying. So you want to wait until you see mission status, and once you see mission status, that is when the game will allow you to land at the temple. So now you want to exit your ship, and at this point, if you haven't done so already, well, actually, if you still don't have Boost Pack Rank 3, this is your last chance to get it. So, let's assume that you haven't gotten the shotgun perk yet. If you haven't gotten the shotgun perk because you haven't gotten Beast Pack Rank 3, then what you're going to do is you're going to follow this path. You can do some zips if you want. It's debatable if it actually saves time or not. So what I like to do here is I like to beast pack up to here, beast pack up to here, beast pack up to here, and then walk up the right side, and then spam jump so that I can get on top of this mountain here. And that cuts that whole section of walking around in an L shape. And it does save some time. So, if you don't have boost pack rank 3, I would say avoid this route, what I'm doing right here, because getting up here with boost pack rank 2 will be difficult. But let's say that you get boost pack rank 3 right there, and you still haven't gotten the shotgun, so you would level up your boost pack, and then you would level up your shotgun. Definitely make sure you do not forget to rank up your shotgun certification to get rank 1. And if you don't have boost pack rank 3 at this point, but you're close to it, is you're gonna come down here and then follow this pathing here and get your boosts in. You definitely should have it by this point, the rank 3. So let me go back and let me show you the pathing if you do have boost pack rank 3 early, I guess. So as you can see, we're up here. This is where we got up at. You're going to jump over to here. You're gonna jump, boost pack, boost pack, boost pack, clamber up here, and then make your way around here. Now there are a couple of zips you can do. So let me create a save here. So the first one you can do is, what I like to do is I like to do one fake zip to get some of this stuff out of the way. I'm not sure if it's necessary, but... And then I like to line my back up against this tank. And then basically just go for zip attempts from this area. I'm not getting the right frame here. Okay, that was the right frame there. So once you get through, you can either end up where I just did, or you can end up right here. And if you do end up right here, you just drop down. And then there's two paths you can take here. The first one is you jump and jetpack up here. And then jump, jetpack, jetpack, jetpack to get up into here. And then press the button to enter the base. Or another way you can do it is you can beast pack your way underneath. And then beast pack up and press the button from underneath like this. But this is kind of annoying to time. This doesn't always work. So I would say don't go for this one unless you're really pressed for time, basically. Yes, all of the tricks where you're doing this stuff is FPS dependent, so that's correct. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't even give the option, so I would say only go for this one if you're really, really, really trying to go as fast as you can, but it only saves like maybe like 5 seconds over jumping up here and then taking it the more safe way. And then let's talk about the other zip. While I think that this one is easier, there is debate about whether or not it's objectively slower than the other one. So the other one is you come up here, you get on top of this little roof, and you jump from basically where the edge of this part of this railing meets. So like right here, and then you zip through this wall. Now, I do not like this zip that much because there's not really that much of an actual setup for it. I think that may have worked. And then you're on top of the hallway here. So there's two ways to enter the area from here. So the first one is you run to the edge, and you kind of crouch down. And you already saw me fail, which is why I don't like this one. So you just come down here, crouch down, and you can get the option for it. I really don't like that method. And then the other method is you come down to basically any area that doesn't have this electrical thing or this pipe. So anywhere else you can just get back and bounce by just jetpacking and boosting up against the thingy majigger. And then you enter to the base. Alright, cool. So this next part is a new version of the skip I found. It's the best version, or probably one of the more fast versions of it. But so once you get over to here, you're going to jump and do the trick once you basically pass this part on this little pipe, or slightly before this little rectangle with two black boxes in it. And then you're going to go through this wall here. I think that was first try. So if you get out like that, so what you're going to do is you're going to jetpack backwards, and you're going to land kind of on the edge right here around this little pillar. So jetpack backwards, land right here, and then amp yourself up. And then you can follow this path over here, which I will cover in a second. I'm going to show you the other setups. So the other two setups, or actually there's three setups. So one of them is you start your jump basically right around here, land here, and you're going through this small little section. This is my least favorite of them, but I'm going to see if I can get it real quick. This sip has killed so many runs because it just doesn't work most of the time. I would not recommend doing this one because this is just very bad. Yeah, I'm not even gonna keep going for this one. Another one you can do is you jump from basically the same place, and you go for this corner here. If you go too far into the center, you can get soft locked by being stuck in a spot. That one was close. Maybe, I'm not sure. I felt like the right frame, but I'm not sure if I was the right distance from the wall. It worked, so we're here. As you can see, there's a little space right here, and this is where you can end up if you do it bad, which is a soft lock, and very sad. And now for the final setup, which might be the most setup-y of all of them. So you want to come over here, get these boxes out of the way, line yourself up with this, with the middle of this little drawer, and then you want to go again for the same sort of spot. And we're out first try. So once you get out, you're gonna follow this path here. You're gonna boost, boost, and on top of this, jump, boost, boost, boost. Do whatever movement you want. Just make sure you end up over here, and you take the cavern. I don't hate you, Anubis. You're good. Alright, so now we are in the final part. You're gonna enter a anomaly here, and you just want to start holding backwards to just quickly get out of that. Okay, I hate you now, Anubis, thanks. There's gonna be a 16-year-old wanting to learn the Starfield speedrun, and they're gonna see that comment right there. Okay, anyways, so what you want to do is you want to come over here and you want to pick up this coachman. And then you want to look in the box and you want to keep picking stuff up until you find this little thing right here of Hippolyta, or whatever the hell it is. You want this, plus 20 persuasion chance for 5 minutes. Very good. If you know you can get it, Frostwolf is also pretty good. So Frostwolf will give you extra speed, extra damage. Personally, I haven't been getting that because I find I don't really need it. It doesn't really change the fight that much. So what I end up doing is I just look for the hippo thing, which is usually like around this area of the box. So once you get the hippo thingy-majigger, you can pop another amp if you want. And then you want to make your way on over to here. So there's going to be a lot of these people that spawn. And what we're looking for is we're looking for one of them that is basically active camouflage. They go by Guardian Fiona. And right here, they are right here. So there are multiple spots that Guardian Fiona can spawn, which is why we stand right here. Oh, sorry about that. It is why we stand right here. So from right here, we can see a couple of spots where we know that Guardian can spawn. You can spawn on top of here, on top of here, on top of here, on top of here, over on these two things. You can spawn right here, which we don't have the good vantage point on. You can spawn here. Or he can spawn way down over down here, which is pretty far back. So it looks like I'm gonna need to actually make a save down there. Sorry about that. Cheat engine speed hack one. Okay. So again, what we do is we pick up the coachman and we search the box for the hippo, which is usually like around here, but you know, let's just say for just wait until you know you get the hippo. And then make your way over to here. And then keep an eye out for the invisible dude who spawns. And right here, he spawned right here. So you just want to use your coachman. So right there, I killed him in one go. Most of the time that will not happen. Most of the time he will teleport. And whenever you are shooting at him, you want to keep an eye down at your radar, and when they teleport, you will see the general direction of which they teleported to. So you need to have good awareness, and just make sure that every single time he teleport up to probably about 2 times for this. Yeah, one cycling this Guardian is very, very rare. Most of the time you will have to 2 cycle him. But once he's dead, you want to pop an amp, pop the hippo, and then make your way on over to the door here. Now the amp is useful because it allows you to jump higher, which we can use for this right here. Jump on over and open up the buried temple. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you chug the hippo for the persuasion chance. And then you can make a quick save as your gun is going down. I highly recommend making the quick save. You want to select speech. And this is RNG, but with the hippo we have a better chance of doing it. So since we have 3 turns and we need to fill up 8 bars, what me and Dante usually like to do is we either like to, for the very first one, we either go for a 4 or a 6. 4s are nice to get, 6 is even better to get. So with this, if I see a 6, I'm probably just going to go for the 6. And then I'll go for a 4. And then another 4. And then with this right here, it's better to go for something like +5 rather than +3. And you failed, so did not work.
I'm sorry.
So you're just gonna keep reloading your save until you get the persuasion check to actually work in your favor. So +4. You can do another +4.
Well, I don't know about
and then it worked.
Well, I'm sorry. More talk. No. Fine.
+4. Let's do +3. With this, you could either do a +4 and then a +2, or you could risk it like I'm gonna do here and go for +6.
Well, I don't. Perhaps it's time to put this all together. Well, I'm sorry.
So unfortunately, a run can die to this because you just don't have the best control over the RNG.
Don't shove. Well, I don't know about either of you, but
Let's get through it one more time.
I'm sorry. It's more talk. No. Fine. Is that a note? That's certain. Well, I don't know about either.
So yeah, we got it there, so. And again, because of the fact that we chose neither of them as our companion, the artifact will immediately start winding down. Whereas normally, if you have a companion, you have to go back to either Hunter or Emissary, talk to them, and then come up here, and then it'll start to power down. So you want to grab the artifact. And then you want to pull up your scanner and be ready to quick scan. But you need to wait until you see the mission status update. Or if you're like me, you can wait until your auto splitter splits. If you fast travel to your ship too early, you will kind of soft lock. And what we're doing will not work. So just wait until you either see the 200 or 500 XP pop up on your thing, or until your revelation splits. And then you want to fast travel to your ship, get up, and you're going to go to the screen here, and if you timed it right, you will have the option to activate the screen. If you do not wait until the mission status updates, you will not be able to activate this screen. And the only way to fix it is to fast travel to a couple of different systems. And yeah, kind of dumb, annoying, but yeah, you want to build the artillery. You want to make sure you actually press down before you do it. Like, you want to, like press down. And yeah, I kind of failed a 41 yesterday because I didn't do this one simple step and I pressed leave instead, and it lost me 30 seconds. I'm so annoyed. I'm tilted over it. So yeah, once you build it, you want to make sure that you pop an amp, open up your map, and go all the way out to the orbit of the solar system. And then you want to travel to Masada 3, the planet that you're on, and then power up the grav drive. And this will immediately get you to the ending of the game. Whereas normally, you have to get up out of your seat, build the artillery, sit back down, and then fast travel to space. And doing it like this saves about 30 seconds. It's very nice time save. And now that because we're popped up on AMP, we walked through this section faster.
You made it. I never get... A thought occurs. I am as much. I have seen all. Do you feel like...
So you want to do...
Good? In order to...
That intent,
a part of you will... Do you understand?
And then skip to the part where it become more powerful. This is the only one where you have to scroll down. So skip to the part where it become more powerful. And this will be the fastest dialogue choice. And then you just walk into the Unity, and that is the game. That is the speedrun.
Behind, a new universe awaits you. Who will you be in this one? What choices will you make?
Yep, that is how you do the speedrun. Hopefully that is detailed enough for everyone. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this amazing guide.